Bienvenidos. Welcome to the 47th annual convening of one of the most enriching experiences in our community, the celebration of diversity and traditions known as Tucson Meet Yourself. I am Supervisor Betty Villegas, and on behalf of the Pima County Board of Supervisors and all the residents of our beloved community, I am happy you can join us. Pima County is a mix of ancestral cultures with lifetime and longtime residents and our new arrivals, all sharing the air, the land, and the history of the beautiful Sonoran Desert. Lucky for us, we also share the foods, dances, music, manual arts, and rituals of dozens of different cultural communities and folk groups, all of which call Pima County home. Every year, Tucson Meet Yourself, sometimes referred to as TMY, is our community's shared big tent where we discover, respect, and celebrate each other. Congratulations and thank you, Tucson Meet Yourself organizers, for adapting this year's 2020 festival to the new public health precaution guidelines. This year, TMY has reframed the event to include a socially distanced virtual experience that offers each of us an opportunity to be connected while remaining safe. There is so much beauty, strength, and resilience in every one of our cultural traditions, and I encourage you to join us in support and celebration of them all. Please enjoy all the offerings, and remember, we will get through all the challenges because we are Pima County strong.
Welcome to this program, part of the 2020 edition of Tucson Meet Yourself Reframe. I want to take this moment to thank our sponsors. Without their generosity, none of these wonderful offerings would have been possible. First, our major sponsors, Pima County, the City of Tucson, the National Endowment for the Arts, the Arizona Commission on the Arts, the Arts Foundation for Tucson and Southern Arizona, and the University of Arizona College of Social and Behavioral Sciences, and the Southwest Center. In addition, I want to thank our presenting sponsors, businesses that stuck with us even in these difficult times. Thank you to Cox, Tucson Electric Power, Visit Tucson, Desert Diamond Casino, and Chicanos por la Causa. Enjoy the program.
We are on. Okay. Well, I'll talk to you people out there. Hello. Well, my program for you today is going to be a mix-up of something old and something new and something borrowed and something blue. And let's see if it comes together in any kind of a tasty way. Yes, we have no bananas. We have no bananas today. Whatever they tell us is not what they sell us, but we pay anyway. What do you say? With all this persistent pandemic and problems systemic, it's not academic. Yes, we have no bananas. We have no bananas today. Yes, we have no palitos. We have no palitos today. There's Cheetos and Doritos and 5 kinds of Fritos. And we're looking for something gourmet. So if you want to practice and eat some strips of cooked cactus, yes, We have no palitos. We have no palitos today. My dad tended to sing songs from the 1920s when he was growing up, learning English in the Lower East Side of New York. And one song I found out afterwards had been extremely popular. It was like everybody was singing it, and it spawned some other songs were written because it was so popular. Like it was called "Yes, We Have No Bananas," and there was the "Yes, No, We Have No Banana Blues" following that. It's one of the most interesting, nutty songs. And I've thought about the song a lot. If you want to hear my thinking about it, it was a song sung in the character of a fruit seller on the street who was an immigrant. And he was just this jolly guy who you asked for something and then he'd say, yes, we don't have it, but he would take your money anyway. And he was doing quite well with this idea of promising you something that he didn't have and getting your money for it. And it struck me as a very, why was it so popular? With all these immigrants in New York, there was something about learning the scam, maybe? Yeah. Traveled around this country from shore to shining shore, and it really made me wonder the things I heard and saw. I saw the weary farmer plowing his sodden loam, and I heard the auction hammer knocking down his home. But the banks are made of marble with a guard at every door, and the vaults are stuffed with silver that the farmer sweated for. I saw the seaman standing idly by the shore, and I heard his owner saying, got no work for you no more. But the banks are made of marble with a guard at every door, and the vaults are stuffed with silver that the seamen sweated for. I saw the weary miner scrubbing coal dust from his back, and I heard his children cry, got no coal to heat this shack. But the banks are made of marble with a guard at every door, and the vaults are stuffed with silver that the miner sweated for. I saw the mother toiling, raising children on her own, and I heard a warden whisper, watch me get them when they're grown. But the banks are made of marble with a guard at every door, and silver that the mothers have sweated for. I've seen my people working all around this mighty land, and if we could get together and finally make our stand, then we would own the banks of marble with no guard at any door, and we'd share the vaults of silver that we all have sweated for. I should say, the first time I walked into the student union at City College, maybe 1960 or so, there was a group of people sitting in a circle with guitars, and this was a song that I heard for the first time. And it still means something to me. And there were people in Tucson singing that during those same years. Chickens crowing on Southward Mountain, outy-ow, and a diddle all day. So many pretty birds I can't count 'em, outy-ow, and a diddle all day. London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. London Bridge is falling down, my fair lady. Lock 'em up. Take the key and lock him up, lock him up, lock him up. Take the key and lock him up, my fair lady. London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. London Bridge is falling down, my fair lady. The bridge between people is in need of repair. Let me sing that other verse again, one of the two I remember. Take the key and lock him up, lock him up, lock him up. Take the key and lock him up, my fair lady.
Nine on Your Side's Maggie Vespa shows us why one local group says Dr. Martin Luther King's legacy is still a work in progress.
Half a century after their struggles, their screams, and their strides were seared into America's memory.
Do you want it now? Oh, yes.
69-year-old Ted Warmbrand still refuses to let those memories and melodies be muted.
No more sorrow in this land, no more sorrow in this land.
The American Civil Rights Movement, if we want to give it a name, is one of the great chapters of the history of this country.
A longtime local civil rights activist, Warmbrand brings dozens together each month for socially minded sing-alongs.
Oh, Wallace, you never can jail us all.
Each year on Martin Luther King Day, his sessions carry a special tune, showcasing songs central to the civil rights struggle.
Songs are opening up between our hearts and our minds, and they connect us with one another, they connect us with history.
Music has always been a way to move people. It moves the chakras, it moves the energy.
People sang before meetings, they sang on line of marches. Singing was very important and still is important.
Still important, says Warmbrand, since that struggle is not finished. Whether it's a nationwide debate over same-sex rights or a localized fight for Mexican-American studies, Warmbrand says these songs serve a purpose.
These songs have a flexibility. I think if we have them and we internalize them, we keep them around, they'll be useful for whatever comes next.
He adds each battle is perhaps best won when we realize there may be an infinite supply of struggles yet to come.
Marcel Marceau, the mime, used to have one great routine where he was in a little box and he's kind of figuring out how to get out of it, and as soon as he gets out of it, he finds he's in another bigger box, and it's never ending. That's life.
You know, American Atomics was a company in Tucson, and in 1979, the word was out that they had spilled thousands of picocuries of tritium into the air in the neighborhood, into the church. It was in the church pool, it was in the neighbors' houses, the swamp coolers were pulling it in, and it was across. Well, they hadn't tested that out, but it was across the street from the TUSD school kitchen. And apparently the tritium had escaped 6 months earlier. And the Nuclear Regulatory Commission in Phoenix never did anything about it. Turned out that the company was owned by the mayor's campaign manager and the head of the Republican Party of Tucson and somebody, and everybody was connected. And Jackie and I were part of a little small group that was trying to expose the dangers of the nuclear whole business. It turned out like 3 Mile Island happened just around the same time as we heard the news about this. And we were a little group, a small group of people, and we called up an expert from the EPA who was coming to the Nuclear Regulatory Commission and said, could you come and talk to the neighbors and the workers? We'll set up a meeting. And I made a little flyer. I got some connections at the university. We had a meeting, and he shocked everyone by saying, a little bit can't hurt you, but it's very dangerous. And if you wear a paper jacket, you'll be okay. And the workers said, well, nobody told us about that. And we held a rally, and it turned out the young Raul Grijalva showed up, and some other people who were strong in the Democratic Party, who must have known that there was this other connection of who was owning the plant. We were just saying, shut it down. In any case, it took a long time. And eventually, Governor Babbitt sent the National Guard in, and barrels of tritium were, those 55-gallon drums were taken out on a big truck. I stood in the street with Jackie watching them do it. They said, you better not be near here. We said, it's a public street. So we were invited into the neighbor's house, and we were sipping iced tea while the swamp cooler is probably sucking in all that tritium, and it was this crazy. It was a crazy time, and I not only went to all the hearings about it before they could close the place down, but I went to the university, and there was one of the nuclear physicists had made a speech about how it's not that dangerous because you get more radiation here and there and the other place. And I walked out of the meeting and I was just cracking up. I was laughing at what I had heard, and I put it in a song. It's called Why Get So Excited. Let's see. I gotta find the key again. Let's see. Yeah, maybe that's a good key. Who knows what it is. Don't break. And I started out as any good folk musician would, with a melody that already existed, that sort of had the feeling that you felt as you tried to express what you were thinking. You get more radiation walking down the street from the solar heat, from the food you eat. You get more radiation on a toilet seat, so why get so excited? And that's the part in between the words where people can whistle a happy tune, so no one will suspect, or you can click like a Geiger counter. You get more radiation from a wristwatch dial, from an old brick pile, from a banker's smile. You get more radiation from a crocodile, so why get so excited? Get more radiation from the road's asphalt, from a chocolate malt, from an Epsom salt. Get more radiation from an earthquake fault, so I get so excited. Get more radiation from a belly dancer, a Bengal lancer, a gay romancer. You get more radiation when they treat your cancer, so I get so excited. There's a kernel of truth in what he said, but it ain't enough for a loaf of bread. If it's all we swallow, we soon be dead. That's why I'm so excited. Whoa, I'm gonna take that down a little. You know, people say, I don't know what art is, but I know what I like. Well, yeah, you know, I know what songs I like. I call them folk songs. Yeah, there you go. I can call them that. I don't usually call them folk songs, actually. But if you call it a folk song, it's not just a technical term that a scholar would use. It's that folks. It makes you a folk, one of the folk, you know, whatever that means. It brings you down to the level of just plain folks. You get more radiation walking down the street from your solar heat, from the food you eat. You get more radiation from a toilet seat, so why get so excited? Will you want more radiation as the nukers scoff, as your hair falls off and you start to cough? Will you want more radiation as your bones grow soft and you can't get more excited? There's a kernel of truth in what he said, but it ain't enough for a loaf of bread. If it's all we swallow, we'll soon be dead. That's why I'm so excited. This month is the birthday of a songmaker I knew for years. He passed away young, about 10 years ago. His name was Salvador Cardenal. He was the father of the Nicaraguan eco song. He loved the birds
and the turtles and the trees. Naturaleza. And he just couldn't stop singing about it, and even till his last days on earth. A pesar del crimen contra pueblo humilde que puebla la tierra, carne de la guerra, a pesar del hambre con que vive el hombre, millones de hombros se pondrán de acuerdo para alzar de libertad, de libertad, de libertad. Hey, hey. A pesar que luego nos escupan fuego, creerán que es juego, ansias de su ego, y seguirán trazando un plan, robando el pan con cruel afán. A pesar de todo, tierra, sangre y lodo, creceremos todos para hallar el modo de vencer y hacer amanecer un nuevo ser. Ah, hey, hey. Many years ago, I lived in a car and traveled around, and I met someone who had the numbers printed on his arm, and he told me in the concentration camp there was a fellow who used to lay in the barracks and just had this crazy look in his eye, and he would make up songs about the daily beatings and the daily insults, and he put it in a melody, which I guess it was a melody that already existed. I heard it once years later, but I don't remember who composed it. And I don't remember all the Yiddish words. Let me see if I can come up with it. Oi, Totte, Futte, behalt me schein de ba. Oi, 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 behalt me schein de ba. When we make all these barracks finally collapse, and with the boards on their heads will play taps. Oi, 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 oi. God, when will that happen? Oi, Totte, Futte, behalt me schein de ba. Oi, 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 behalt me schein de ba. Well, I'm singing without an accompaniment. When I was a kid in school, one of the things we did in music was learning Gilbert and Sullivan. And there was something about the way that the high and the mighty were mocked in it that appealed to my spirit. And one of the songs I still remember is a song like this. I've jibe and joke and quip and crank for lowly folk and men of rank.
I ply my craft and know no fear, but aim my shaft at prince or peer, at peer or prince, at prince or peer. I aim my shaft and know no fear. I've wisdom from the east and from the west, that's subject to no academic rule. I can, oh gosh. What is the verb? When the jeering of a jest, or distill it from the folly of a fool. I can teach you with a quip if I've a mind. I can trick you into learning with a laugh. Oh, winnow all my folly, 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 and you'll find a grain or two of truth among the chaff. Oh, winnow all my folly, 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 and you'll find a grain or two of truth among the chaff. I can set a braggart quailing with a quip. The upstart I can wither with a whim. He may wear a merry laugh upon his lip, but his laughter has an echo that is grim. When they're offered to the world in merry guise, unpleasant truths are swallowed with a will. For he who'd make his fellow creatures wise should always gild the philosophic pill. For he who'd make his fellow creatures wise should always gild the philosophic pill. Shall not be moved. We shall not be moved, just like a tree that's standing by the water. We shall not be moved. The Union is behind us. We shall not be moved. Union is behind us. We shall not be moved, just like a tree that's standing by the water. We shall not be moved. We're city and country together. We shall not be moved. City and country together, we shall not be moved, just like a tree that's standing by the water. We shall not be moved. We're young and old together, we shall not be moved. Young and old together, we shall not be moved, just like a tree that's standing by the water. We shall not be moved. Men and women together, we shall not be moved. Men and women together, we shall not be moved, just like a tree that's standing by the water. We shall not be moved. Gay and straight together, we shall not be moved. Gay and straight together, we shall not be moved, just like a tree that's standing by the water. We shall not be moved. Un pueblo sin fronteras no nos moverán. Un pueblo sin fronteras no nos moverán, como un árbol firme junto al río. No nos moverán. No, no, no nos moverán. No, no, no nos moverán, como un árbol firme junto al río. En la lucha, no nos moverán, unidos en la lucha, no nos moverán, como un árbol firme junto al río, no nos moverán. standing for our families. We shall not be moved, just like a tree that's standing by the water. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved, just like a tree standing by the water. We shall not be moved. We used to sing that with the 5th grade classes I go visit. I say, you know, it says we shall not be moved. That doesn't mean we won't be moved in our hearts. It means we're not going to have other people push us around. That's what it means. I've been places where everybody's having a great time, and then the police show up and move us. And that's the song we sing as we're being moved. So songs can do a lot, but they can't do everything. And the singing can do a lot, but it can't do everything. And that's probably a good thing, because you leave something for someone else to do. That's why they're important. It's not just you. It was the guy who came out of rehab, and he said, the one thing I learned was, I'm not God. But I was thinking that this song plus the next one are an interesting companion piece. Aunt Bessie, my grandfather's sister-in-law, sang it, and her daughter used to play guitar and bring people over to her house up in Nyack, New York. Taught it to me. I never heard it in my house, but it's not only a family song, but it's, according to Ruth Rubin, the Jewish music archaeologist, she says the text is one of the oldest Yiddish texts that we know of, like maybe 16th century, something like that. The melody seems to have, I would say, came afterwards. They don't know what the melody was, but it's a song that there were many songs like this, the night courting songs in a lot of cultures, where the fella's trying to get into the room of his sweetheart, and she sends him away. Clip-clop in dein Teer, Schein Mädel, Effen mehr. Effenen will ich dir nicht und Effenen erwarte nicht. Alle Menschen schlufen schön. Geh auf der grüne Groß, schlufst doch heus wie ein junger Hus. Welche wird mir zudecken, welche wird mir rufigen? Der Blatt von Bein wird der zudecken, der Sonne von Himmel wird der rufigen. Knocking on your door. Won't you open up? No, I'm not gonna open up. I'm not even gonna talk to you. Where am I gonna go? It's late at night. Go sleep in the field like a little animal. What will cover me and what will waken me? The leaves of the tree will cover you, and the sun in heaven will awaken you. Clip, clap, in dein Tee, Shane Mädel, Leffen mehr. I see it as a song for all displaced people who can't be where they want to be. And then I was thinking of this old part of the Song of Songs. I learned a different melody when I was a kid, but there's a very nice one that a cantor named Steve Scher made up, and then the song got sung a lot. I tried to translate it. It's called Dodi Li. Let's see if I can figure it out. Dodi Li Vanilo Aroe La Shoshanim Dodi Li Mizot Ola Min Hamidbar Mizot Ola Min Hamidbar Dodi Li Vanilo Aroe Mashoshanim Dodi Li. My love is mine, and I am my love's. How my field of flowers feeds his sheep, and who is she? Who can she be? Coming up to me in this desert. Dodi Li Vanilo Aroe Mashoshanim Dodi Li. Let me try it again. I think there's a song, but I don't know where it is on the guitar. Let's see. My mom used to sing around the kitchen to herself, and she'd sing kind of sad songs, sometimes in Yiddish, sometimes in English, and she'd sing that, "Oh, what a beautiful morning," trying to get into the optimistic spirit of America, where she was. Okay, again. Tell me who's the criminal here? Tell me who's the criminal here? If you had to leave your land and you met your match on burning sand and someone lends a helping hand, who's the criminal here? Tell me who's the criminal here? Tell me who, tell me who. Who's the criminal here? Border man won't let you through. What's a poor man gonna do? Businessman's got work for you. Who's the criminal here? Tell me who, tell me who. Who's the criminal here? Tell me who, tell me who. Who's the criminal here? Framing laws, aiming guns, keeps you down and on the run. How will you feed your little ones? Who's the criminal here? Tell me who, tell me who. Who's the criminal here? Tell me who, tell me who. Who's the criminal here? When your skin is red or brown or black and blue on white man's ground, and your head is pierced with a thorny crown, who's the criminal here? Tell me, oh. Tell me, oh. Tell me, oh, oh. Who's the criminal here? I know how fear can leave you blind to the hopeful heart and the open mind, but to make a crime out of being kind, who's the criminal here? Tell me who, who's the criminal? Who's the criminal here? Tell me who's the criminal? Who's the criminal? Who's the criminal here? I can shut my eyes and walk away, shut my mouth, nothing to say. Should someone die in my desert today? Who's the criminal here? Tell me who, tell me who, who's the criminal here? Tell me who's the criminal here? Dime quién es el criminal. ¿Quién es el criminal? Stretched across my burning throat, there's a necklace makes me choke, made of pride and fear with tight barbed wire. Still I'll float my humble boat through the hot and sandy moat, filling up with hope and wild desire. Take me to the border, take me to the border, take me to the border, damned and despised. Take me to the border, take me to the border, take me to the border and be baptized. I've said it before and I'll say it again. As a Jewish person, I'm not quite sure what this baptism stuff means. I think it has something to do with getting into hot water. Oh, my daughters, oh, my sons, no, you're not the only ones forced to pay because you cross a line. I'd say those who had it drawn in the dark before the dawn need your light to see a new design. Take me to the border, Take me to the border. Take me to the border.
If you keep singing that, I can sing a verse on top of it, and we'll be in harmony. Imagine. Take me to the border. Oh, yeah. Take me to the border. Our ancestors' souls. Take me to the border. As we clasp our hands, we claim this sacred land, where a stream of peace and justice flows.
There was not recently, right before the pandemic, I was asked if I would join a group at the Jewish History Museum that was co-sponsoring with the AME Church next door a no hate, no fear gathering outside. And we knew that the choir would be singing from next door, and would I come up with something? And I chose a song. And a lot of songs for no hating and no fearing. So I thought, why don't I try a song that's connected to the Jewish labor movement called Alla Brida, All Brothers, and put some English words to it. The funny thing about the song is that Morris Winchowski had written a poem around the turn of the century, the 20th century, about how all Jews are brothers. And it's probably satirical, pointing out that there's not a lot that binds them together, or they like to argue. But it became a Jewish together song. I introduced it by referring to the old Jewish joke about the guy who was stranded on a desert island, and when he's finally picked up and found after 20 years, he's asked, what have you been doing? He says, well, I built 2 synagogues. 2 synagogues? Why 2? Because that one I don't go to. Und wir seien alle Brüder, oi, oi, alle Brüder. Und wir singen freilich Lieder, ei, ei, ei. Here's a jolly song I'm singing, ai, ai, song for singing. Unity, let's hope we're bringing, ai, ai, ai. Ai, 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 ai. Ay, 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 ay. It's no secret we're related, oi, oi, we're related. That cannot be overstated, ay, ay, ay. It's no secret we're related, ay, ay, we're related. That cannot be overstated, ay, ay, ay. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Oi, 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 some divide so they could rule us, aye, aye, they could rule us, they can't hide and they can't fool us, aye, aye, aye. Some divide so they would rule us, aye, aye, they would rule us, they can't hide and they won't fool us, aye, aye, aye. Oi, 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 ay, oi, 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 ay, oi, 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 if we learn to stick together, oi, oi, stick together, we can brave the worst of weather, brother, oi, oi, oi. Oi, 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 oi. Oi, 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 oi. Oi, 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 oi. Oi, 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 oi. When we stand up for each other, oi, oi, for each other, we'll be true sister and brother, oi, oi, oi. When we stand up for each other, oi, oi, for each other, we'll be true sister and brother, oi, oi, oi. Ay, 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 ay. Oi, 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 oi. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Oi, 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 oi. Oi, 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 oi. Oi, 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 oi. Oi, 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 oi. Better, right? A little better. One little mistake, but that's okay. I like that.